All right, guys, so welcome to today's training where I want to walk you through the different ad formats and then also how to create them, how to access the insights around them, and then also how to remarket for them. So really we have around 6 options, and I've added Messenger in here as well. So we're sort of going with 7 for the purposes of today's training. So what we're going to be walking through today is the different types of ad formats. So this is the layouts and the look, the creative essentially. Now we're not going to go into copy and we're not going to go into design in today's training. This is just looking at the formats themselves. So the first option that we have is the single image, and this is the most commonly used ad format out there. We also have carousel ads. These are the 4x4 essentially carousels, right? There's 2 to 10 images there that people can scroll through. We have canvas ads, which are an immersive advertising experience. We have lead ads, where you can collect customer data straight from the Facebook platform, such as email or phone numbers. We, of course, have video, which is very, very powerful nowadays, and slideshow. And then we also have messenger ads. So let's take a look at all of them. And as I go through, I'm going to be swapping and changing between this presentation and the ad account and showing you what those actually look like and how to build them in your ad account. So let's look at the single image and the carousel ad first. So as you'll see on the bottom left-hand side, this is a single image. This is normally what you'll see on Facebook, especially in desktop. That sort of landscape 1200 by 628 image. And then we have the carousel images, which are anything from 2 to 10 carousels that used to be limited to 5, but now we can have up to 10. I really like these types of designs where the marketers have put a lot of thought behind that entire sort of image layout. They break it up, and what this tends to do is it creates a highly engaging ad because people feel like they need to scroll through to see the rest of the image. And as you saw from this one here, this is also quite cleverly done. Essentially, it's one image, they've broken it down, and people need to scroll through as well to see the different products. So this is essentially the carousel and the single image. So I'm going to take you through into the ad account now, and we're going to look at how to put those together. Alright, so I'm going to create a dummy campaign here. Let's go down to the ad level over here. Oh, it's frozen. Oh, it needed me to select a campaign. Okay, great. Let's go down to the ad level. Perfect. So once you're in the ad level over here, this is where you start to build your ad formats. As you can see here, we have 5 different ad formats. Lead forms, I'll show you how to build those, and then Messenger as well, I'll show you how to do those. So carousel ads, this is what we were just discussing. So anything between 2 and 10 scrollable images or videos. And here's how these work. So you're obviously going to select this first. So, you make sure you select the carousel. Make sure you select the Facebook page if you have Instagram placement. Carousels do work really well with Instagram. So this is one of the ad formats that does work very, very well on Instagram. And then what we're going to do is start to fill out our carousel. Sorry, my screen was just really slow there. So we're going to start to fill out our carousel. So here are the basically the carousel cards that we have. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and then 3 over here. So if we go back over here, essentially we need to select an image for this one, and then if we went in number 2, it would be an image for this one, and again for number 3 it would be a different image. So you're just gonna select an image. If we go image library, let's just choose this one. Perfect. And what you'll do here is the headline. So you'll say, obviously this is not what you're saying, but, and then your description, test.com. And this is essentially how you build that carousel. And again, you're going to do that for step number 2. You're going to go in here. You can just select an image. And then number 3, and on it goes. Now, one thing to note with this is that the call to action button cannot be edited for each single carousel card. It has to be one and the same across all of them. So for example, if we wanted to do shop now, what it's essentially going to do is change all of the shop nows so that all of them have it. I wonder what this photo is. That's sort of random. Sorry. So you can add up to 10 of these. So if you want to add more of these cards, you just click on this and it starts to add a lot more. And then you just go through and you edit them accordingly. Now you can choose to have a see more URL. So if we do this, now this see more URL is what this one is for. So as soon as they click this last carousel card, it will take them to whatever this URL here. Now if you want to get rid of this very last carousel card, you just untick this little box here that says add a card at the end with your page profile picture. And it will remove that. Now let's add that back in so I can explain something really quickly. When this is ticked, you cannot edit this. So this last one is uneditable. You can't change the size of that profile picture. This is automatically generated by Facebook. All right, so one of the other features that I want to talk to you about this type of ad is this little box here that says automatically show the best performing card first. So obviously, if you have something like this, or even like this perhaps, you do not want to have this ticked, because essentially what this is going to do is tell Facebook to show the ad that is getting the most engagement at the front, and then the second ad with the second most engagement, and then the third one with the third most engagement. So obviously if you've got a really good layout, just trying to go back here, like this one, you don't want Facebook to swap and change the images, otherwise it's going to not make sense. So you will simply just untick this. Now another thing that I would just want to point out here is this really cool feature here where we can essentially create canvas ads with video. So the format for a canvas image is 4:4, so 1:1 ratio, and the recommended image size is 1080 by 1080 as Facebook specifies here. Now if we're doing a video, again you want to have 1:1 here, so square is what Facebook recommends. So you actually need to upload that video as a square. So just follow the instructions that Facebook provides you in the ad level, sorry. And but this is a really cool feature because you can essentially create a carousel using video. Perfect. So this is essentially the carousel card, and let's swap this back so you can see again. Is it playing up now? It's playing up. There it is. Okay, so this is essentially the carousel card, and obviously you'll do, this is my ad copy. For this stuff here, I don't want you to worry too much about this. This is called essentially dynamic product ads for the top of your audience, and it will pre-fill the content based on your product catalog. We're going to cover that a little bit later on in the program. So for example, this is some of the stuff that would be found on your website. It automatically pre-fills it. All right, so let's look at single image. So single image is the most common type of ad format. And some of the options that you have here, guys, I don't know if you noticed this, but Facebook actually gives you free stock images. So you can upload an image, and for this, the format is 1200 by 628, as pointed out here. And what you can do is upload your image, or you can go through their stock photos. So if we say Christmas, for example, and you can, access all of these stock photos for absolutely free and use them in your ads. Now, you cannot download these stock photos and edit them. So let's say, for example, you wanted to use this Santa Claus and add some copy here. You can't actually download this to your computer and then edit it. You have to use the image as is. And then once you use, let's remove this one. Once you're using the image, you do have the option to crop it using the native crop tool within Facebook. So you can reposition the tool and crop it like so that the image fits, is cropped properly and it's centered properly. Now here what we have is the website URL. So this is where you're sending people to. So when they click on this ad, where are they going to go to? This is your website landing page or wherever it is. This is your headline. By now, this is your text. So this is what shows up here. Online tests and testing for, this is random copy. And then your call to action. And you can even remove this if you want. We like to remove it for the cold audiences because it doesn't make it looks less like an ad without that call to action button. And the other thing that I want to quickly show you is this display URL. So this is what this shows up as here. Now, it used to be that we could use this to write additional call to action copy, so register now or limited stock, or we could use this for more direct response, but now Facebook makes it compulsory that it is an actual URL. So what we can do here is we can go your brand, .com. You don't have to put www at the top. This is not clickable. The ad is clickable, right? So you want to make it look as clean as possible. So remove HTTP and double columns and all of that. Just make it very clean, the brand or the landing page name, .com. So you don't have to make it the actual landing page, myproduct.clickfunnels.com. You certainly don't have to do that. You could just do mybrand.com. And then newsfeed link description. So this is this little line down here, and this is used for additional call to action. So you might say limited stock, grab yours today, or whatever that might be, this direct response. And then we've got UTM or URL tags here, as we like to call them. So we're going to cover this a little bit later on in the course. We're going to just leave this as is. And then what I like to do is I always like to track conversions from all my ads. So essentially when you tick this, what this is going to mean is that when you go back into your reporting in Ads Manager, it's going to show you conversions that are not going to make sense. So here's what I mean by this. Let's exit out of here and go into Ads Manager. This is a dummy account, so I don't know. Okay. So no conversions have taken place from this, but if you had selected track all conversions, what it would do is over here it would show you, a number sort of. The number would be about 300 or 260. It would be this total. So it would group all of the conversion events, including view content, including add to cart, including purchase, all of them together. And you might be thinking, well, I only got 3 sales or 2 sales, for example. Why is it telling me 300 here? And that's because it's grouped all the different conversion events together because you've just told it to track all the conversions in your ad. So if we go back to that, this is essentially what you were doing here, telling it to track all the conversions from your pixel. So that comes down to the reporting and how to segment and bring that up in your reporting window to make sure that you're only bringing up the proper report of the conversions that you actually care about. All right, so let's go back and have a look at the next one, which is really Canvas ads.